a couple of requests, please. There's lots of youngsters, all very excited. Parents, can you keep them away from the dance floor, as we don't want any accidents. And if you'd like to stand, the boy Applewhite, and who else we've got there? The boy Bradley, if you'd like to just go to the back there, that'd be wonderful, so that you won't get in anybody's way. It's amazing to think that 5 years ago was when we were last here for our 60th anniversary. And of course, a lot's happened in the last 5 years. The following year, we went off to America. The following year after that, we went off to Germany, played there, we won the national championships. And then, of course, COVID kicked in the beginning of 2020. And so the band you see this evening, during COVID, we had to close the band down for a long period of time, like everything else in life. So the band you see this evening is very much a new band. If I tell you only 7 of them were here 5 years ago when we performed, that tells you what a new band we've got. But I can also tell you they've worked exceptionally hard tonight. They are very proud of this band and their reputation, and I can tell you they've given it their all this evening. So I know you're going to get behind them. And please welcome the current band of the Romford Drum and Trumpet Corps. This is the first time we've got together as a band, the first event that we've put on, and the first proper performance since the passing of Her Late Majesty last month. So with your permission, we would like to start with a short tribute, and we invite you to be part of that. Last post will be sounded, there will be a minute's silence, and then we invite you all to sing our national anthem, God Save the King. We ask you to be upstanding for this. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take a seat. The band had the honour of performing in front of Her Majesty the Queen probably about 5 or 6 times throughout our history. Many of you here would have had that opportunity as well. And of course our founder was honoured by Her Majesty the Queen in the year 2000 when he was awarded the MBE. So it did feel the right thing to do tonight to start with our tribute. It's going to be a little bit more upbeat now. The band has been busy this year, and we went to Scotland for the first time in our history. And we played this piece of music, and it's we're going to perform now. It's called Spring Drills, and you'll probably recognise none of the tune, but other than it's really got a Scottish sound to it. So we hope you enjoy this. This is Spring Drills. So I mentioned earlier on that the senior band is quite a new band, and it comes as no surprise when you see all these young people at the front there, because these are even newer members. These young boys and girls have joined literally, some of them in the last month, but the most senior one there has probably been here no more than a few months. And they are very much the band of the future. Tonight we celebrate 65 years. There's lots of ex-members and lots of history here. We feature the current band, but also we give you a glimpse of the future band. Give them the bottle. I meant the dad. So we're going to feature them now. They're going to do a small drill display. Now, lots of ex-members here tonight. Do you all remember your first show? How nervous were you? So they're very nervous tonight, but I did say that you are going to get behind them and give them the biggest cheer, aren't you? So, without further ado, there we'll be doing a drill display to a march called The Thin Red Line. This is our academy. I don't need to do any words really at this point. Well, that's that fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, well done. The future of the band's certainly looking very rosy, I would say. So they're going to take their leave now. So, well done. Very proud of you. I know I've worked too hard. But you've responded. I couldn't be prouder. They were high-fiving Steve on the way out. Rightly so, that was good. Right, we've got a lot of ex-members here, so come on, let's have you out in the middle of the arena. Right now, come on, your turn. Come on, the boy Moore, over here. Let's go. The boy Fearon, the boy Moss. Come on, who's going to be first? Shut that door, do not let him... Here we go. Come on, we need some of the drummers at the front. Can you organise the drum section? See Uncle Steve at the front, Steve Cressy. The front is here. I know you can't see me because I'm walking around with the mic. Steve's organising the drum section. Go on, get to the back. You were never good enough to be in the front. Right, you're in fours. Christmas is coming, can we hurry up? Right, this was never allowed in my day, marching in babies, but I'm willing to let an exception tonight. We had 2 drum majors. We got 3. We got 4. Who else? Me, 5. I was 1. Jack, 6. Right, okay. You are doing a double cross. And the band will play. What I would say, mums and dads, the rest of the people watching, is this is a competition. Now, the Academy have already performed. Alright, you're going to listen. So the Academy have already performed, and they were good. Now the ex-members are going to see if they can do better. We'll play nice. Right. No, they're not getting any more time to plan it. I'm throwing them straight in the deep end. Eight!
And attention!
How do you feel better?
On the left, 2 3s and a 5.
2 3s only.
Alright.
I'll make the rules.
What's the tune?
What's it got to do with you?
On the left, break, march.
So we did make it as easy as possible and kept a nice steady beat for you all lot. So let's put this to the audience. Do you think the best drill display tonight is the ex-members with 6,000 years of experience between them? No, let's be fair. Or do you think it's, with an average age of 9, our amazing Academy? Ex-members, you're all crap. Go on, clear off. Ladies and gentlemen, give our ex-members a round of applause for being such good sports. I have to say, when we rehearsed that earlier on, and I said to the current band, we're going to play really fast to mess them up. You should see the look of delight on their face. They really enjoyed that. Right, now we're going to do a little bit more of our performance now. About 5 years ago, About 5 years ago, the band played a great number by Stevie Wonder called Superstition. And you'd never have thought that Stevie Wonder's music would be great for band. So we dug into his songbook and found another great piece of music, which we know you will know this. You may not know the title of it, but he wrote it as a tribute to the great Duke Ellington. So this is Stevie Wonder's Sir Duke. That featured, the sax solo in the middle of that was Eridus. Eridus, talk about that was outstanding. Well done. So, up until this point, the band's only ever had 2 people run it, which is one less than the amount of chancellors that this country's got at the moment for this year. But I just want to mention one other sax player, and he'll be the only person in the band that would have served under Dick Bouchard, under myself, and under my successor. He's been with me since my very first rehearsal. He was in the band just before me, and I think I'd like to point him out at this point. John. He's our longest serving, continuous, conserving band member in the band's history, and it's been a pleasure working with you. Thank you, John. So we're coming to our last piece now, that before I hand the baton over, and quite a few people have asked, what am I going to do once I've left the band? And the answer may lie in this next piece of music. It's called Tequila. It makes me happy. but it does need some audience participation. Now, I know that we took the mickey out of our second place performers tonight, our ex-members. Sorry, but the Academy did beat you. Just saying. But this is a chance for everybody here tonight, everybody to join in. There's one word. I've already told you what it is. It's tequila. And you've got to shout this out every now and again. Are you going to do that as part of the deal? That way I can sail off into the sunset as a happy man. So ladies and gentlemen, this is tequila. Okay, thank you very much for joining in. They didn't believe me, the band, when I said that you lot are all heavy drinkers. Sorry, you would all join in with this, and you didn't let me down, so thank you for that. It comes to the part of the evening now, which I'm going to say a few words. So I'm going to ask the band if they would just stand at the back of the hall while we say a few words. So.
Hello? Loud. This is where we put Paul on the spot, I think, so we're taking over. Can we have Vice President Lee Fearon up, please? Neil, explain.
Okay, yeah, so this is a letter from someone that couldn't make it this evening. It's not the king. It's not. It's Hayley and the members of the Essex Marching Corps. So Hayley's, she runs the Essex Marching Corps, and she's great friends with Paul. Paul's done a lot for the band, and they've helped us out. So she sent us this letter because she couldn't be with us this evening. So we're going to start. I'll just read it as it says. So it says, "Dear Paul, whilst thousands of people can say they have been part of a marching band in this country, few have held a position in this elite club of being a bandmaster, let alone for 25 years. With that in mind, I'm sure tonight will be a wonderful celebration of your dedication to fun, friendship and achievements, leading the Green and Gold Army over the last 25 years. Although I have had the privilege to march in Green and Gold uniform multiple times, I have sat very much on the outside edge looking in. The outstanding opportunities and experiences the band has provided to young people have been an inspiration to me. Whilst all bands need teamwork, there always has to be a captain, the person who provides the heartbeat of the band, the person with the continued drive to keep it moving forward. There is no doubt that this heartbeat has been you, Paul. I'm sure everyone tonight will be showing their appreciation for all the work you have done for them as members of the Romford Drum and Trumpet. However, your passion and drive has also extended much further than just boroughs of Romford. Since the first day you introduced yourself to me by telephone as the bandmaster of the Romford Drum and Trumpet, you have been my closest friend and mentor in the crazy world of running a marching band. We've joked that being a bandmaster is 95% hard work and 5% having to be mad to do what we do. Never has a statement ever been truer. Throughout the highs and lows of my last 20 years running a band, you have always been there. Your experience and passion has supported and influenced the development of not only your own band, but also mine. I'm sure that all bands all over the UK, you have offered unbridled support and friendship, without which they would not be where they are today. And you probably don't even realise the positive impact you have had, and so I wanted to make sure you knew tonight. Once I know that music is your greatest passion, I also know that you're partial to a spot of baking, but you always seem to be the one making the cakes, not receiving them. So I decided it was time to take to the kitchen and make you a cake this time. So my dear friend Paul, please accept this cake as a small gesture of thanks for all your friendship over the last 20 years. It's been a privilege to be a member of the Elite Bandmasters Club with you. Thank you for helping us all make music, as we couldn't have done it without you. Love, Hayley and all the members of the Essex Marching Corps.
Thanks, Lee. Sergeants, to the centre then, please.
That's great.
Who's first? It's Lily.
Please not me. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by reading a speech. As you've noticed, there is someone missing from all our sergeants. The band's colour sergeant, Luke Monroe. He's given me the honour of reading his speech. Okay, so where do I start? After being in a band myself for over 12 years, I've got to know Paul very well, and there's so many memories to share, but I'll keep it short and sweet. I remember rehearsing vigorously over the years for various contests, and you jumping up and down, screaming at us as if the foot was out of place. But it was all for the greater good, and it led us to some fantastic wins. We haven't always seen eye to eye over the years, especially in the later years when I became librarian. I remember on one occasion we were off to Germany and I was preparing the music for the tattoo, and Paul came running into the library, jumped up and down so hard I thought he was going to go through the ceiling. Shortly after that we had a conversation about the library, and of course I always got it wrong, to which I was then known as the band's busy idiot. On a serious note, thank you Paul for everything you have done for me and the band. We couldn't have achieved the contest, travelled the world or performed at some very prestigious events, and that is all thanks to you. Thank you for your continued support, and especially personally over the past few months. Sorry I can't be there tonight, but hopefully I'll be able to see you in a few weeks. Happy retirement from your busy idiot.
to start this saying I've never spoken into a mic, so I have no idea how this is going to go. Yeah. When I think of my relationship with Paul, one of the first things that come to mind is my birthday. For some context, my birthday normally lands on the first or second weekend of July, meaning I've had a lot of band trips on my birthday. Now, every year, Paul would find a new and creative way to embarrass me. The one that sticks out is my 14th or 15th birthday in Germany. The band had just finished performing and we were standing there listening to the commentator speak. None of us had any idea what was being said, and suddenly all you hear is, The band in front of me turned around and smiled, and what do I see? Paul, standing there with a giant gingerbread heart cookie and a big smile on his face. I'm sure most of us didn't realise the day we turned into band geeks, but you hear yourself say the phrase, "Oh my God, did you hear that crunch when we stood at attention?" Or you show up to a band show with socks on your toe caps because you aren't letting those get scratched. Standing in front of you are 4 fully fledged band geeks, and this is because of Paul's love and passion that he has installed into all of us. Paul has achieved so much in his 25 years, and Romford has thrived under his leadership. We are the national champions, we have played with countless army bands, and we have never seemed out of place. We survived the pandemic. His passion and love for this band has never wavered and only somehow got stronger over the years. Yes, he can shout and scream at us, but his face when the band do it well, great even, is like a kid on Christmas. All I can say is thank you, Paul.
If I had to describe Paul in a few words, it'd be passionate, determined, but terrifying. But it was that combination that brought the band the success it has achieved over the past 25 years. I joined the band in 2016 as a very shy 12-year-old who would just hide behind stronger players in the section. But as those members began to leave the band, there was a gap which I was expected to fill. I didn't have the confidence or belief that I was anywhere near a strong enough player, especially compared to the members who had just left. Thankfully, I had the encouragement from Paul as he saw something that I couldn't see, and that was my potential. At first, the jumping about and screaming seemed absolutely traumatising, but it proves how much Paul really loves the band. This was a make or break for all members. Either the screaming and shouting was too much, or it brought out the best in them. Without Paul, I wouldn't have been to the places I have, or had the experience I've been able to have. But without Paul, the band would be a completely different place. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Paul.
So, I've been in the band now for nearly 7 years. Now, what can I tell you about Paul that you don't already know? We all know that he expects the very best, which at times can involve him expressing himself vocally at rehearsals, or alternatively known as shouting at the band with steam coming out of his ears. But we all know that his desire for excellence is what drives him. Over the past 25 years, Paul and his family have given a lot to the band in terms of time and effort. Even when COVID struck and the band activities were reduced, he set about on a fundraising mission in support of the local hospital, and with others managed to raise over £2,100, which was spent on pot noodles and snacks for the hospital staff, and also resulted in him being known as Pot Noodle Man. We know that the staff at the hospital were extremely grateful for his exceptional efforts in garnishing the band to raise the money and deliver the snacks when times were tough. I also need to thank him on behalf of my sister, Libby, who is also in the band. As some of you may know, in his spare time, Paul is also something of a master cake maker, and earlier this year he offered to make and raffle free cakes to help her with her fundraising, and we thank you again for doing this. Personally, he's enabled me to do several trips in the UK and international trips, including adventures to France and Germany, and in 2018 we went to America, and these experiences have helped my self-confidence grow. Paul has taught us all that hard work pays off, and teaching me to march was certainly hard work with my 2 left feet. His attention to detail has been vital in maintaining the high standards he set for himself and the band, and I'm sure the members and ex-members who have been part of the band while Paul has been the band director would agree that he has taught us valuable skills for life. Paul, we will forever be grateful for what you've done for the band as an organisation, and for each and every past and present member, as well as setting the band on a strong footing in the future.
Paul, where do I even begin? Let's go back to over 12 years ago when a new Clements joined the band. A tiny 8-year-old girl with a smile you described as $1 million. A girl that had no musical knowledge or ability and was quite frankly terrified of being heard. She never would have even dreamt that several years down the line she'd be able to perform the last post on the most significant day of remembrance. She didn't believe in herself, but you did. You gave me the opportunity to be heard. You were the one that introduced me to my love of music. You were the one that enabled me to gain a whole new family, my band family. Without you, I wouldn't be here today, talking in front of everyone. To imagine my life without music is a life I wouldn't want to live. Through the hardest times in my life, you have waited. You never gave up and gave me the opportunities that I needed to come back stronger, and for that, I thank you. If I'm being 100% honest, you used to terrify me. You still do on occasion. I'm 4'11" now and I'm a Clements, so I think you can probably picture how short I was all them years ago. Walking into rehearsal every Tuesday and Thursday to see a man jumping up and down, waving his baton frantically, is probably enough to make anyone run in the opposite direction. But for some reason, this lot behind me and many in the room tonight, including myself, didn't. The reason for this is deep down, past all the shouting and jumping, is we see a man with a passion unparalleled and a heart of pure gold, with a bit of green thrown in there too, of course. You have transformed even the most unlikely candidates into absolute band geeks. It's so hard to say goodbye to the band. You have instilled a passion in all of us that is so hard to walk away from. I think we've all been in a position at one point or another whether we debate whether it is our time to say goodbye. We know that this decision has come from a place of long and hard thought. The majority of people here would not have even been conducted by Mr. B, with many not even meeting him before his sad passing. Although his legacy will live on, you are our legacy, and for that, we salute you.
Thank you. So that's the sergeants out the way, my turn. I haven't written anything down at all, because they've said it already. I've been assistant director, I've been the drum instructor for years and everything else, but through it all you've had good cop, bad cop. The bad cop, unfortunately, is leaving. We've had some good times, we've had some bad times, and we've argued, we've not spoken, but we're back here again. We've always had each other's back, and I've had your back all the way through it. Kerry, you're getting your husband back. Oh, was that a cheer or a boo? I don't know. For me, I can't say any words because I've known you for so long, but good luck. Oh, your turn.
When I started to write this speech, when I started to write a speech about this moment, it kept sounding like I was writing a love letter to the band. And I guess in a way, it really is. Because I do love this band. I love these guys. I love my time in the band when I was a youngster, and I was sad when that came to an end. And I couldn't believe my luck when Dick Bouchard asked me back 9 years later, this time to run the band, as I got the opportunity to do it all again. I've loved my time as the band director and consider being asked to do it as the honour of a lifetime. To lead such a high profile and hugely respected youth band. Running the band has given me the opportunity to meet and work with so many wonderful people over this time. And I'd like to extend my thanks to all of those that have helped and supported me and made all these great things happen. I've never claimed to run a one-man band, but was fortunate to get the support of so many staff, committee members, instructors, parents and supporters throughout this time. My biggest thanks, however, does go to every single member, both past and present, that has worn the green and gold throughout my tenure. It genuinely is a privilege to work with young people in the hope that what you do has a positive impact in their developing years. If I crossed swords or lost my rag, I would simply say two things. Firstly, I'm sorry if I did jump up and down, and secondly, you probably deserved it anyway. As I step down after 25 years, I do so with a heavy heart. When I told the trustees a year ago that I was intending on stepping down this evening, I knew it would be an emotional night for me. I have dreaded and looked forward to this evening in equal measures. I know that I'm going to miss the day-to-day running of the band, and I suspect that I'm going to feel like I've had an arm cut off next week. It's been a major part of my life. However, it is the right thing to do. It's the right time for me to step down, and I'm hugely excited to watch the band in the next chapter. I will forever be grateful to Dick Bouchard for giving me the opportunity to take over from him and the trust that he puts in me. It is absolutely my intention to offer the same level of support to my successor, and I would like to introduce her to you now. Miss Sam. Sam has been a vital and valued member of the band setup from when she first approached me 9 years ago to gain some experience of working with the band. She came as a musician studying at a London conservatoire for her master's degree in music and conducting. Such was her ability that I felt like the band had won the lottery. Within 6 months, I asked her to become the band's musical director, and she has excelled in this position ever since. I'm proud to consider her a close and trusted friend, and when I informed the trustees of my decision to step down, I made it absolutely clear that there shouldn't be anybody else to audition for the role as band director, as we already had the best candidate that we could hope to get. I will fully support her in the future, and as I step down, I ask that the whole band family gets behind her and gives her the same level of support that I had. I want to address Sam at this point with a message and a piece of advice. The band has meant so much to me and countless individuals for decades. Thousands of people are grateful to this band for many reasons, be it meeting a husband or a wife, gaining friendships for life, parents seeing their friends excel, or simply learning life skills. The band is respected internationally with a very proud history and is loved by every band member from the last 65 years. As you become only the third person in 65 years to run our beloved band, take care of her. She's very special. Lastly, my bit of advice is, whilst respecting the band's traditional military style, don't be constrained into thinking traditional means old-fashioned. Keep looking forward. Keep the band fresh, relevant, modern and vibrant. And I hope you have as much fun as I did pushing the boundaries of what a traditional military youth band can be. I wish you every success in the future. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to fulfil my last duty as the band director, and that is to formally hand over the baton and to welcome the new band director of the Romford Trumpet, Samantha Barrand.
Thank you. First time out on the microphone here, so bear with me and be kind, I guess. Thank you. So obviously, Paul has said much of what I'm going to be talking to you about, as have many of the speeches, and I promise I'm the last one, so you're almost ready for the bar. So there have been several speeches made this evening, and each of them from a different perspective, but all with a similar message of thanks to Paul, and also to his family, because he wouldn't have been able to do the job that he has done for as long as he has without the support of all of you. So a thank you for you. This evening is a time for celebration of this organisation running for 65 years. Is a chance for the ex-members to come together, share stories and reminisce, and a time for the current band to show what the organisation has become and to give a glimpse of what is on the horizon. Whilst tonight is a reunion, it is also a significant night in the band's history. This evening has had me reflecting on how I came to be here tonight. I'm sure you all remember the night that you first stepped into the band hall and the mix of nerves and excitement that would have engulfed you. For myself, as Paul just mentioned, I was in my final year of university, had recently left the Legion, and was very much hoping that I would be accepted into the organisation and it would provide me the opportunity of allowing me a place to develop my conducting. I walked into a bustling band hall looking for Paul, and after a brief chat of what I did and where I've come from, Paul simply said, "Everyone gets a chance down here, regardless of their history," and followed it with something that stuck with me. "Whatever happens, I will always support you in front of the band, even if you make a mistake or I don't agree with you." In that moment, the nerves of stepping into the band hall and concern of how I may be received dissipated, and it was straight down to business. I went into rehearsal and I was introduced to the band, put up a score, raised my hands, battened down, and nothing happened. Internally, I was absolutely dying. It was night one, the first piece, the pressure was on, and it had all gone horribly wrong. A conductor's worst nightmare that nobody had played a note. I remember looking to Paul and asked what command I needed to use for the drummers. His answer, none. Great, that made me feel a load worse. Just let them know what you want first, and then go again. Take two and the band struck up. From the first night I met Paul, he has been true to his word and done nothing but support and encourage me. I've spoken of tonight being a night of celebration. For me, as I am sure with Paul, it is also a night laced with sadness. Whilst band members, staff and parents have come and gone in my time with the band, Paul has been a constant figure who I've worked alongside. He has been the band director, he's been my mentor. In his words, he's been my biggest supporter. He's been a friend, and although he may not believe he could be old enough, he's been like a father figure. I say tonight is laced with sadness. It is a sadness of losing all of these things, and the safety net that I've had on a daily basis at band is leaving. In the time I have known Paul, he has always supported band members to strive for their aspirations. He has always fully supported and encouraged me to strive for my military goals, seeing me at my best, and he was the first person on the phone when they went horribly wrong, seeing me at my worst. Many of you will not realise or fully appreciate, but after my experience with the army, there was a time where I was not sure I could walk back into the band hall or work with the band any longer. I had lost my career, my love of the military, passion for music, and the belief that hard work paid off. I'd lost my purpose and was fully prepared to walk away from music altogether. Paul saw the struggle and impact that events had and has worked with me in recent years to help me redirect my musical knowledge, rekindle my passion for military-style banding, and find a way to redirect my aspirations of becoming a bandmaster into the band that you see before you tonight. And I'm stood here today because of the understanding and support that he and others in the organisation gave me, helping me through the most challenging times of my life. Please don't get me wrong, like the sergeants have said, it's not always been plain sailing. And like all band members, there's been ups, downs, and many artistic differences which have caused some turbulence over the years. We all have memories of chilled rehearsals, intense rehearsals, rehearsals where you feel, that's it, I'm out. But deep down, we're such bandies that we keep coming back for more. I, like you, have been on the receiving end of frustration and have also found myself holding frustration back at times. And it is only out of the absolute belief that the band members can push and deliver on the goal. I have seen this driven by Paul's unquestionable passion for music and the band, with the result being pulling the best from the band members, taking the band from being a good one to a great one. It was almost a year ago that Paul and I took a walk and he announced his decision to step down. I know that Paul would not have made the decision easily. Walking away from an organisation like this is not an easy decision, and one I am sure he spent months deliberating over. But I have to be honest, whilst I fully supported Paul and his decision, I immediately went into panic mode. I've never really appreciated the phrase, the weight of responsibility. I came away from that walk with a literal feeling of a heavy weight on my shoulders and my mind racing. Firstly, the sadness that Paul was leaving and that weight of responsibility in taking over an organisation that has been successfully running for 65 years. I pride myself on not letting people down. What was I actually going to do? Could I do it? As failure was not going to be an option. The band has only had 2 band directors. The founder, Dick Bouchard, a man that I never had the pleasure of meeting and only know through the stories of others, and the other being Paul. Will I be able to live up to their expectations and continue to run the band as successfully as they have? Paul took a chance on me when I joined the band and is about to entrust the organisation to me this evening. I can only strive to make you and the entire RDTC family proud. Paul's made the role of band director look effortless, and I have to remind myself that he's been doing the job for 25 years. On the night Paul announced he was leaving, we spoke, and he said, "Just be you, don't try to be me." This year has been a strange one. It is easy to think that things just happen in an organisation like this. I've been working in the role of musical director for the past 8 years, and whilst I would be involved in planning all decisions, not even I had fully appreciated the role of band director and the pressure of responsibility that Paul has undertaken all of these years. To the ex-members, I hope you're proud of the current band, and thank you for the work and time that you have given the band over the years, as we wouldn't be here tonight with everybody that went before. To the current members and their families, being part of the marching band is such a special and unique opportunity. Many of your school friends won't appreciate it, but for all those performing tonight, band is a place where you're amongst other like-minded people, commonly known as bangies. It's a place that becomes a second family, for some, their chosen family. A place where memories are made and some truly fantastic experiences are had. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of hard work along the way, but it really is worth it. Last couple of points. This year, I've been finding my feet as a trainee band director, and it's not been easy. Thank you to the current band for the effort and enthusiasm that you've brought to the rehearsals. And thank you to the parents that bring them. Thank you to the NCOs who have been having a crash course in becoming NCOs and have really stepped up this year to help train and lead the newer members. Thank you to the parents and the trustees that give up their time and support on shows, help run events and the canteen. And thank you to the team that has had my back throughout this year, quite literally on some parades. Whilst my plans over the years have changed, I could not have imagined that I would be standing here this evening about to take over as band director of the Romford Trumpet Corps. Not knowing Mr. B, I can only hope that he would be happy with the decision for Mr. Binder to hand the band to a Miss B. I am sure he would be thanking and congratulating Paul for the dedication and selfless commitment he has given the band and its members. Personally, Paul, I can't express my gratitude to you and the band for allowing me to come and work with you all. You have played an important role in my life and you have given me an environment to grow in. Thank you for the opportunities, guidance and support that you have given me over the years. As I step into my new role, I can only hope to continue to grow and nurture the organisation as you have and do my utmost not to let you or any of the RDTC family down. In short, thank you for taking the chance on me those 8+ years ago. I'm very much going to miss working alongside you, and I wish you all the best for your band in retirement and this next chapter of your life. Kerry and Paul will have a small token on behalf of the band for both of you. New members added to the band shortly. Okay, the senior band, if you could please get yourself fallen back in. We are coming to the end of the evening in terms of the performance aspect. So the band will be playing 2 more tunes. One of them, which will be the very last tune that they will be going out to, which is going to go with the band's march. However, we do actually have a new march, which I put together for the band for this evening. So the march that you're about to hear tonight represents all of the band members that have gone before. It represents the current band, and it represents the band going forward, and it's been specifically written for the band that is in front of you this evening. So I really hope you enjoy this performance of the band's new march, Legacy. Ready? 1, 2.